Podcast. My name is Alex.
I'm Josh.
And today we are talking about Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure. We played this on the PS2 this time. It is available for other consoles, and we'll get into that a little bit later in the episode. But let's talk a little bit about the gameplay here.
Well, let's talk about release date.
We got release dates?
September 10th,
Oh
September 2nd, 2003.
2003.
Yep.
That's 20 years ago, man.
That's correct. That's 20 years ago.
My insides are hurting.
This game can almost buy alcohol.
Pretty much. Look, I took psychological damage from that just now.
It was developed by Toys for Bob.
Which, who?
What do you mean who?
I've never heard of these people. Who are they?
You never heard of these people?
Yeah.
Have you heard of Spyro Remastered Trilogy, the Crash
Of course
Insane,
I have.
or
Great games.
Crash 4?
Love it.
Yep, new Crash 4 came out like last year. That was Toys for Bob.
Toys for Bob.
They also did, we're actually going to be revisiting Toys for Bob. They did Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam, which eventually we'll have to play.
Wow, okay.
They also played, oh man, I had the website pulled up. They made some Japanese exclusive Magical Girls game or something like that.
That is crazy.
Anyways, now we can talk about gameplay.
Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure is our fourth and final game for Hawktober this year. This is year one Hawktober. We're coming back again, don't worry.
Yeah, final episode of this year's Hawktober. Don't worry, obviously there's plenty of more Tony Hawk games to play. We didn't even scratch the surface this year.
We saw the iceberg and put our fingertip on it, and that's a bit it.
Yeah.
We will be going into No News November after this episode.
We'll have a whole nother month of content coming up next month. That's going to be gameplay focused. And yeah, you'll hear more about that next week when we get started on that.
So Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure is a simpler version of another Tony Hawk game. A Tony Hawk game that we haven't covered yet, but we are familiar with. That is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4.
Keen-eyed players and viewers will notice that it literally uses the same menus and font pretty much. It is extremely similar to Pro Skater 4 in a lot of different ways.
This version is mainly aimed towards children, obviously with a Disney theme. There are 10 levels, 3 movie themes, and 3 levels on each of those, and 1 normal city-based level.
The city-based level, it's kind of like a hub world. You can, if you've unlocked other levels, you can travel from it's called Ollywood. You can travel from Ollywood to the other levels that you've unlocked, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's nice that, you wouldn't think a skate game would kind of have something like that. It's a nice little interconnected world. Makes me kind of think like Kingdom Hearts had you can jump to different worlds, right? Don't
give them any ideas, man. Square Enix is listening.
They're listening. They're out there.
That being said, if they put wheels on the Keyblade and let me skate around to Sora in Kingdom Hearts 4, I'd play that. So,
what are those themed levels and then the levels within them? Well, first off, we start off our story in Toy Story, where we start in Andy's bedroom. Everyone knows that.
Probably the most known level from this game.
Yeah, everyone knows Andy's bedroom. We've all seen it a bunch of times. From there, we go to Pizza Planet, which has probably the best.
We'll talk about. We got a whole
level there.
We got a whole thing about Pizza Planet.
And I'm gonna try this. We're gonna see if I can do it right. Zergthune.
Yeah, Zergthune. Yeah, something like that. It's Zerg's planet.
Now, I'm a big fan of the bad guys. I like Zerg.
Zerg's cool. I had a Zerg toy as a kid. Yeah, he was cool, man.
Cool character.
Big robot guy.
From there, we have Tarzan, which we get the Jungle Tree House. And
where his parents died.
Yeah,
cool.
Where his parents died, right? Brutally, murdered by a jaguar.
Yeah, totally fine. We do a sweet, flip trick over his parents' dead bodies or something.
Yeah, rated E for everyone, guys.
Totally fine.
Then the human camp, so that's where I believe he met Jane, is what they're referencing.
Yes.
And then finally, Clayton's ship for when he's going back.
When he he's gonna kidnap all the gorillas and take them back to England or whatever to put them in zoos.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally fine.
And then ending off, we go to the Lion King.
No trauma there.
No trauma at all. We got Pride Rock.
Fine.
Nothing happened there.
Fine. Pride Rock's fine. Not an issue.
The Elephant Graveyard.
Not great.
Nah, it's still fine. We're okay.
Sure.
And Scars Canyon.
Yikes.
Yeah,
no,
also okay. Nope, it's all good. All good in the hood.
Yeah, dude, it's so good. You can ollie over Mufasa's corpse in Scars Canyon, and then you can go to the treehouse and ollie over Tarzan's parents' corpses in the treehouse. They should have picked what they should have done, like a Bambi level. That would have been good. all the traumatic Disney hits.
You could do a 50-50 off the gun.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be good. Here's a mission: hunt down Bambi's parents.
And then ending off our levels, we have Hollywood, which is reminiscent of the San Francisco level from Pro Skater 4. Though I did notice while we were playing that there were some buildings from college from Pro Skater 4 as well.
Yeah, they put the
parking ramp.
They put the parking ramp
and the movie theater.
The parking ramp and the movie theater. There was a part in that level also that feels like LA, like part of the LA level.
It's kind of like this mishmash almost.
Yeah, they took a bunch of pieces.
Pieces.
Talk about it later. I have a little bit to say about Hollywood and how I think the level is not very well designed. But it's interesting that, and like I said, that's kind of the hub world. There's like graffiti on the walls and stuff. And if you go there, like if you go to the boat and you've unlocked Clayton's ship, it'll be like, hey, do you want to go to Clayton's ship? So it's kind of like a hub world, which is cool that you can teleport to all the levels from that base level.
It's also nifty is that you can go in the movie theater there and then they play clips from like The Lion King. So you can just see like...
There's no audio.
240p like clips.
Yeah,
no audio.
There's no audio. It's just like an image of Simba. It's like a small, like 5-second clips from the movie of Simba talking.
So the game functions like an easier version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, but with huge open levels. And you have to skate around and find NPCs to give you tasks. Kind of wonder where that came from, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they literally just took the entire formula from Pro Skater 4. Pretty wide open levels. You have to... There's no timed... It's not like a 2-minute timer. You have to go find NPCs, talk to them. They'll give you a quest. Usually the missions are like, do a race. Or we had one that was like, jump on these 7 chairs in a row and collect these 5 things. Nothing too insane. Again, obviously it is aimed towards children.
And so, aiming towards children, the controls are simple. And when I say simple, I mean simple.
And not in a good way.
Instead of hitting up and down to do a manual, you just hit the triangle button. And other tricks and flips and grabs also have been simplified. I remember you're like, hey, don't touch anything with controls. Just go and play. I went to go like jump and do flips, and then like somehow I'd end up like hitting a legend grinding or doing a lip trick, and I'm like, but I was hitting the kick button, trying to do kick flips over here.
Yeah, when you're in like, we'll just call it kid mode. When you're in kid mode, every button kind of does everything. So normally square would be flip, triangle would be grind, circle would be grab. When you're in kid mode, it just every button does all of it. So you kind of just mash, and it's pretty much fine. The game is very forgiving, especially in terms of like balance we saw for like grinds and manuals.
Yeah, I started grinding. I'm like, why is this so easy?
Yeah, it's not hard. Again, that's kind of the point.
I mean, so maybe I'm battle hardened from playing on sick mode on thug and stuff.
This would make it perfect if you've never played a Tony Hawk game before. This would be the perfect entry into the series to really kind of like give you an idea of how to play stuff. So,
or maybe you absolutely love Tony Hawk games and you want your kids to love them.
Perfect entry point. Perfect entry point for your kids. Yep, that's true as well. And they'll be like, Daddy, who's jump 5? And you'll turn into dust because you're like, I remember who jump 5 is, unfortunately. So.
They're like, Daddy, who's little Romeo? You're like, turn to dust from dust.
Real big fish. Who's that? And you just like keel over and die. So
there is a little hidden secret for controls, and we'll talk about that a little later after this. Exploring the menu was definitely worthwhile in this game. Going through the options and all that definitely helped like flesh things out, and you can choose all your basic stuff, but it gave you options for some other things, which really made the game smoother, I would say, in the long run.
Yep. The one thing I wanted to mention was stat points. Unlike all the other Tony Hawks, they're fully unlocked for each character. So if I get a stat point with Simba, all characters will have that stat point. I don't have to recollect it with each character. Everybody will have it unlocked now that I've grabbed it, which is a nice quality of life thing to make it so you don't have to play the game with every character getting every stat point. I also want to talk about the character customizer.
Ooh.
So you can create a skater, which you've been able to do that for a while now.
We're not unfamiliar with it.
But what I really like this game does is they tie unlockables to missions. When you do a mission, you'll unlock a piece for the character creator. And I think that's a very novel idea that I wish we saw from more of the Tony Hawk games. hey, go do this mission. Hey, you did that mission. You unlocked a specific piece of gear to put on your guy.
Here's some skeleton arms.
Yeah. We unlocked like a devil face paint and like a lavender top hat with a flower on it and clown shoes because we did the secret quest in Hollywood. But it's super fun to customize your character. And it's like really customizable. You can customize the scale of your character. Like how big do you want your kid to be? How do you want to
We gave our character a super thin head.
Yeah, we squished his head. Yeah, we made his super skinny head. And then we gave him huge hands, huge feet. We made him jacked, but then we made him have skinny legs. So you can really play with it like the Skyrim, like the freaking Skyrim. Yeah. Move all the sliders one way or the other. But I recommend that. At least checking out. It is super fun to design kind of your own character.
Now, plot is a tough...
Hey, is there a plot in this game, Alex?
It's a tough subject for this game because there is no plot.
Yeah, we're in Pro Skater 4 territory, which is still no plot for Tony Hawk games.
Instead, you just get tasks that need to be completed in each level, and when you complete a certain number of goals, you unlock the next one.
Yeah, there's some, you could infer some story in Hollywood, because Hollywood has original characters for the game, like Captain Salty, who's the fisherman. He goes like, "Yar, you best be doing a grab trick over my fishing trolley." And you're
I'm parched. Grab me some clam juice.
He did want, no, it was
clam
soda?
Clam
cola.
Clam cola.
Yeah, he wanted me to get the 5 bottles of clam cola. And then you got the man who owns the grocery store. I forget his name, but he's like, "Hello there, youngsters." I think you beat one of his missions. He goes, "You're awesome, kiddo." Do kids still say awesome?
Yeah.
And you're like, what an old timer. Then you got Lindsay.
Oh my God, Lindsay.
Lindsay's great. Her model's a kid just like you, except her voice actor is just a fully adult woman.
Yeah, it's almost like she's talking to you. You're like, what are you, my mom?
She'll be like, "Go grab the letter skate." And then you grab him. She's like, she was really annoying in the skate mission. You grab the T and she'd go, "Tea. Man, I could really go for a glass of that right now." I'd be like, "Shut up, Lindsay.
Lindsay, you're so not cool.
You need to shut up right now, man." And then finally, there's the bully.
Oh no, the bully.
The bully, I believe his name was Hamish.
Hamish, yep.
Should I do the voice? I feel like it's disrespectful. He has like
that was a rough character, man. Early
like
2000s, there was a lot that
he's like a dumb guy voice. He's the bully, so he's like, "Get the extreme score. I bet you can't do it." It also sounds like he's trying to do an Arnold Schwarzenegger a little bit. So he's kind of this kind of he's like, "I bet you cannot do the extreme score." And you're like, what is happening? What happened to this kid, man? I hope he's okay. Hope Hamish is out there all right. If you're Hamish, send us a message, man. Hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, we care about you deeply and want to make sure your well-being is taken care of.
But yeah, those are the only kind of original characters of the game. That's the only semblance of plot you could grab from this game, other than obviously the plot of all the Disney films.
And then all those characters are only available to be seen in Hollywood.
Yep. Yeah, those characters. Yeah, Captain Salty only exists in Hollywood. He does not exist in the
Disney
franchise, Pride Rock level or something.
Yeah, he's just in the background of Pride Rock.
Simba, I need you to catch 20 fish for my fishing trolley. Let's talk about price.
Oh man, price. This game's a wild ride. Let's work our way up, huh?
Please.
The Game Boy Advance. That's right. This came out on the GBA, the good old GBA.
We didn't play it. It's probably, if I had to guess, probably an isometric skater, just like all the other Tony Hawk games were up to this point on the GBA.
Kind of follows along the suit of, if it came out Pro Skater 4, odds are it plays like any of the other. Pro Skater 3 was on GBA. No, I'm not sure.
Pro Skater 2 was. Yep. 2, 3, and 4 were. Yep.
All right. So yeah, it probably follows along with them. Loose, $6.45. Complete
Game Boy in-box Game Boy Advance game with the instructions. Probably like $50, right? Has to be.
$6.55. 10 cents
extra
more.
10 cents if you want the complete box and everything.
Okay, let's go on to an actual console. That'll get better, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
Xbox. OG Xbox. Loose, $12.62. That's pretty solid.
Yeah, not bad.
Complete, $20.01. All right.
It's decent.
All right. That's up there for an Xbox game, I would say.
Yeah, a little bit higher than average, probably.
Then let's just go with PS2. That's the one we were playing on.
Yep.
Loose, $20.06. Ooh.
I don't remember how much I paid for this on eBay. Maybe 14, 15?
Yeah, I think you told me like 14 or
I was
something.
going to say, I think 14 comes to mind. And ours is complete, so.
Complete is $24.99, so like $25.
Boom! Value's accruing, baby. I made $10 today.
So every time we talk about price, it's always good to notate that these are just like averages. It's not like what's actually floating around on the market right away.
If you go on eBay to buy this stuff, for instance, if you went to go buy this complete on GBA, chances are pretty high you would not find one for $6.55 on eBay. You'd probably find some for like $15, $20, something like that.
But that also being said is that
price trading kind of averages out what's, if there's been one sale in the past 5 years, then yeah, price trading tries to try and kind of take that into account, and like it takes the values and averages them in weird ways sometimes, so it's not always the most accurate.
Also, one might have sold for $6.55 and then nothing else has because people are trying to sell them for like $50 and people are just like, nah.
Yep.
And then moving on to our last console, everyone knows this big bad player in the video game retro market. It's the GameCube.
Gee, I wonder what it's going to be most expensive on.
Loose, $26.34.
Great.
Complete, $36.22.
Not bad for a GameCube game.
Yeah,
I still wouldn't pay that much for this game.
You could round it up, say it's like $40, right? That's not completely unheard of.
Kind of average.
Yeah, I mean, I would place
GameCube
that.
Territory.
I always look at my GameCube collection from time to time, going like, man, that's only going up, ain't it? GameCube games, if you're out at garage sales and stuff, man, you see a GameCube game, just buy it. Don't question it.
If somebody says, yeah, GameCube game $3, say, okay, here's $3. Have a good day.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Walk away with your $40 game.
Just pick it up. I want to tell you a little bit about what I thought here.
Yeah, let's talk about what we thought about this game.
So, I got one thing to say. I don't want to be told to grow up, grow up. Look, Simple Plan had the main title theme for this of their song Grow Up. That came on, and I was jamming the moment it started. I was like, oh my gosh, I know this.
It's good. I kind of wish they did I'm Just a Kid. Maybe that
I'm Just a Kid.
That might not have been out yet. That would have been good, too.
Oh, it would have been so good. But like that came on, I was like, oh.
It also has kind of a more negative tone, I guess. Kind of,
But like it came on, and I was like, yeah, I don't want to grow up. I'm gonna be a pro skater. I'm gonna play Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Oh yeah.
And like the whole time, just like, this is so great. I love the fact that this is in there. And then we watched the credits for the thing, and it said 2002, and I heard inside after that.
Yeah.
My feelings took a hit because, look, man, growing up, you just realize that you're just getting older every day, and it hurts after a while.
Yep.
Tear rolls down the cheek and all that. The intro to the game. You start up the game, and before you're able to really, hey, I want to start playing levels, they show a movie.
Intro cutscene. And
it blew me away. Absolutely blew me away. It's a video of
it's a bunch of kids tearing it up.
Yeah, a bunch of kids tearing it up, competing for a spot in the game. That's why they're all doing that. They got like their numbers, like, marathon numbers on their bodies and all that. And every time, I would say this, every time we play a Tony Hawk game, the one thing that just always gets my attention, always captures me, always makes me want to sit, stop, and watch it, is live action skating videos that they have.
Yeah, watching those kids tear it up on the course, man, it's kind of sweet to watch.
The kids were amazing. Like, I get it. They're trying to place for like, top 10 spot, right? Oh my god, these are kids between like what? Like 6 and what?
They were looking for 6 through 10.
6 through 10. Oh my god, they were kids doing like grinds and kick flips.
There's like a 7-year-old who did like a pop shove it. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Like, I get that like there's kids out there that are great.
I wasn't.
These kids were like going for amateur.
I was barely a functional child at 6, man. How this kid's doing a freaking kickflip out here? Dude.
I mean, like, their parents are like, oh, we're going to Vancouver and get up with the amateur the amateur.
You're talking about the from Tony Hawk Underground?
Thug, from Thug. Was that the pro?
The Slam Jam or whatever.
Yeah, the Slam Jam. We're gonna go to the Vancouver, go to the Slam Jam.
Yeah.
And like, I'm just watching. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like that.
It's kind of like, I mean, we see that in some of these later Tony Hawk games. Like, Ryan Sheckler was in Thug 2, and he was like the youngest kid to win a tournament or whatever. And he was like 13, I think, when he did that. We played Project 8, which had like Nigel Houston in it, who he still is like a pro skater to this day. But I mean, in that game, he was like 12. Like he was like a child in that game.
Yeah, I mean, like the one thing I appreciate the most, I think, about Tony Hawk live action movies or cutscenes, whatever you want to call them, is the fact that it's not just like, oh, hey, here goes Mike Valley doing this incredible like move and all this. It goes, no, hey, here's Mike Valley doing that incredible move, and then here's him messing it up like 300 times, and you get to see like him and like the crew kind of like laugh and be like, oh, I almost had it.
Take a hard fall, or yeah.
It makes them more, more available to like the rest of us. Well, they're just humans.
There's multiple kinds of cutscenes that they do in the Tony Hawk stuff, yeah, because they've done they'll do just the Skater Pro videos where here's Mike V and he's landing a bunch of cool tricks. And,
yeah, like they're promotional videos or something.
Yeah, so it's like it would be like a clip from like a skate movie. So it's like here's P-Rod and he's gonna do a kickflip over a huge set of stairs, right? Then they'll have the bail videos where it's a compilation of all the skaters doing these tricks and doing bails. And
I love the bail videos.
Yeah, bail videos are pretty. They take some hard spills, that's for sure. And then you'll have, we saw this in Thug, where you have the actual like skate, like artistic skate videos that they put out as like companies. There's a bunch of famous ones, but like there's one where what was the one, Bam was on the roof or whatever, or something like that.
Yeah, Bam was on the roof for Element.
Right, yeah, for Element. So he was skating on the roof for Element. But a lot of those have like more artistic spins, which is always nice to see. It's cool that it's like, it's not just he's doing a trick, that was cool. It's like he's doing a trick, or it's some kind of sketch or bit that is like being recorded and edited. And I always think those are super fun too. But yeah, the live action stuff is always cool to see.
Yeah, it just, they do such a good job making it feel like they're not so unreachable. I feel like
they're humans.
They're messing up. They're goofing off even.
Yep.
It just, to me, that makes like a huge difference for like sports games like this.
Yeah, it's not like, we see like modern basketball players and football players and baseball players who are all getting paid $10 million to go play a sport for children, and they're like, I'm gonna go home and buy 4 cars and live in my huge mansion. It's like, you see Tony Hawk, he does a big trick and then lands it, and he's like, that was awesome.
Tony Hawk hires a cover band of like all the Tony Hawk songs.
Yeah, to come play it like his birthday
He'll go up
party.
there and he'll just be like, Amoeba.
Yeah, he was singing Amoeba. We watched that video a while back. Yeah, Tony Hawk like drives around to local skate parks and says, do a kickflip, and if they do a kickflip, he gives them merch.
Yeah, he just gives them boards and everything.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of the skaters are just kind of down-to-earth guys trying to make it in their profession in their own way, which I think is super cool.
Yeah.
Because skating feels like one of those things where it's like, even if you become a successful skater, right? If you're a successful pro skater, it feels like a very niche thing, right? Like if you're a successful football player, how many people in the world know Tom Brady's name? A ton. How many people in the world know like Bob Burnquist's name? Probably,
or Mike Valley.
Markedly less than like Tom Brady, right?
Comparably to the two, yeah, way less.
Yeah, it feels like, even if you become a big pro skater, that's huge, and you're getting all these sponsor deals and stuff like that. But it still feels kind of like a down to earth thing. Like at the end of the day, you're still just like a guy, right? Like you're still just like a lady who skateboards, Hey,
Stacy Peralta told me about soul skating and it stuck with me.
Sorry, the Stacy Peralta?
The Stacy Peralta, man.
That's crazy, man. It's all about soul skating. It's not about the money, man. Never was and never will be, unless you're Eric Sparrow.
Yeah,
Eric, if you're out there, dude, there should have been a mission in this game where you beat up Eric Sparrow.
Yeah, it's just the toys.
It's all the kids. Yeah, it's like Woody.
Yeah,
Woody goes to beat up Eric Sparrow.
Or you see him being chased by like one of the hyenas and like
that would have been good. Yeah, put him in Scars Canyon, the elephant graveyard. Yeah, I wanted to talk about Ollywood because it's a really interesting level. It feels like it's segmented very poorly. Like we mentioned, the parking ramp is clearly from college, and there's a small section that feels directly ripped off from Los Angeles, from one of the, I think that was LA in 3. Am I going crazy by saying that? I feel like it might be in 3.
It might be. It definitely feels like it. It feels like they took a bunch of different pro skater like levels and kind of like put like, oh, the right side of this building is like similar to this level, but it's like just that one edge, right?
The issue is a lot of levels feel well put together. Like Pizza Planet, it has like 4 rooms. There's the arcade room, there's the arcade cabinet room, there's the like diner, and there's the kitchen. And it's kind of this big open like 4-segment area. And they all kind of like, you can easily traverse from one to the other. There's stuff to do on the way. It's fine. Ollywood does not feel like that. There's the movie theater, which is its own thing. Then you go down a huge ramp. There's a parking ramp, and there's the dock, and there's the bridge. The bridge leads up to the grocery store that you can skate in. Behind the grocery store is like a little weird skate park and a little mini factory. And there's these, like, if you want to get from one side of the level to the other, you're just going to be skating around. There's not a ton to grind on. There's not a ton to ramp off of. It's just kind of like 5 or 6 areas that are like these separate little zones. Like they're unrelated to each other. They don't flow very well.
Yeah, the factory almost felt a little bit like Foundry, like the catwalks of Foundry when you got
there's some catwalks in there that you have to like do weird kind of tough grinds to get up to. I don't know, man. It's weird.
You definitely feel the reminiscence of Pro Skater in there.
Yes, but the level doesn't flow. That's my issue with it. It's like normally in a Pro Skater level, you can grind on this thing and that'll lead you to this area, and you can grind on something there that'll take you to the next area. It's kind of like...
Oh, something like the great level of Tokyo from Pro Skater 3?
Exactly. Well, so Tokyo is like the land. You're going to jump on this thing. Once you jump over there, you can grind up here. Grind on here will take you over there. So the whole level is kind of connected and flows. That's obviously a very small level compared to what we're talking about now. Let's talk about streets, right? Pro Skater 1 is like grind downhill. That leads you to the street from the street. If you go left, there's a half pipe and a big stair area. If you go straight, there's like stairs and stuff to grind on. If you go right, there's another ramp and stuff to jump over. It just all feels like a big cohesive thing. Hollywood does not. Hollywood feels like they took 6 halves of old Pro Skater levels and stuck them in the edges of the map, and each one's a separate thing. So that's what I have to say about Hollywood. But why don't you talk about what else you liked about the game, Alex?
I gotta say, it was really cool. I was not expecting it to be as fun and quirky as it was, but you really get a sense of being able to go and play through these fun classic Disney Pixar movies and skate around, and like the characters are there, and like it's just so full of life. And like I was a huge Toy Story fan growing up, going into Andy's bedroom and being able to just like climb around, go on the Hot Wheels tracks. You know, we saw Rex there and Ham, Wheezy. Like it was just so much fun. All the army guys, God, like I was just going through that. I'm like, I know this place. This feels cool. I like it. And like you just kind of kept going through. Like you get into Pizza Planet, you're like, oh, I remember this. Oh, hey, look. You know, there's the Claw.
Yeah, the little green man.
Oh, yeah, little green alien dudes. I love those guys. And it's like
they have a bunch of amazing dialogue in this game. They're like, skate on the joystick, and we can finally reach Nirvana. And then there's another mission where you have to herd them back to this other dude, and he puts them in like a Slurpee, like an icy, and they have lines because they're like dying. They're like, now I will go to my frozen cryo tube, and they drop like a Slurpee on them.
It's just like no matter where you go in the levels, there's life brought to it. Yeah, and that's like, really cool.
It's a reference, or they're, hey, remember this from the movie? And
the world definitely does not feel empty, that's for sure.
Yeah, and going off of that, this is something I had played when I was a kid on the GameCube. Definitely a fun kind of novelty game from my childhood, but we mentioned this a little bit. It doesn't control the greatest, and especially without the Pro controls on, every button just kind of does all of it, so it's really tough to be precise. So with those Pro controls on, if you go to the options and turn Pro controls on, that is pretty much required to play this like a normal video game. But even then, this game is so much fun, even if it's tough to maneuver. Some of the missions are like tough platforming challenges. It's so much fun, like you had mentioned, kind of the novelty of skating in Andy's room and skating in Pride Rock and in the Jungle Treehouse. All that stuff is just very nostalgic. I was very much a Disney kid growing up, and I always thought it was fun to kind of live in those levels. I think this is when I see people who are so into Kingdom Hearts and that's like their whole lifestyle is like, I love Kingdom Hearts, I look at like this and I get it, right? Because I'm like, skating around in Andy's room is amazing to play as Woody and Buzz and Jesse and Zurg and, talk to the army men and do lip tricks on the wooden blocks and grind on the jump rope and flush myself down the toilet, and the whole thing's very fun, and I definitely get it.
It really pulls the child out in you when you play it.
Yeah.
If you grew up with these things, it's very reminiscent, very nostalgic, and it's just a wonderful feeling to have, honestly. But I got one thing and one thing only to say. Overall, no matter what, nothing else I say really matters other than this. Alien Slime. drink it all the time.
Alien slime, drink it all the time. There's a machine. Do you want to explain?
There's like 3 machines. I don't know what you're talking about.
You should explain what alien slime is and why we should drink it all the time.
So alien slime, drink it all the time, is the
Catchphrase
commercialization of a drink called alien slime. And in the beginning...
In what level?
I was getting there.
Okay, all right.
In the beginning of Pizza Planet, you get the task of turning on all the arcade machines in like the entire place. And when you go to grind across...
Well, each one has its own
Each one has its own on
effect.
button.
Yeah, each one has its own sound effect that plays when you turn it on.
And as you go across and you turn each of them on, they just start jingling when you're close to them going, alien slime, drink it all the time.
Alien slime, drink it all the time.
And you'll be like going to like another mission, and in the background you just hear, alien slime, drink it all the time.
Yeah, like when you get close, they play it. And all 3 of them don't play at the same time. They're all like discordant. So,
it's really good.
So it'll be like, here, I'll go first, and then you go slightly after me. So go, alien slime,
drink it all the time.
Yeah, so it's like they go like kind of in a round. They're all like speaking on top of each other.
It's kind of like bobbleheads are just kind of like waving their head around.
The whole concept's very funny, and the song is very stupid, but it gets really stuck in your head. We were watching some gameplay of a different dude play. And he was playing the level, and he got to that part, and he was like, alien slime, drink it all the time. And we're like, yeah. And then later, he's like skating through the kitchen. He's like, alien slime, drink it all the time. And we're like, dude, yeah, he gets it, man. It's catchy.
Like, you hear it, and like you're like, oh, that's cute. And then like you keep hearing it, and then eventually you're in like Tarzan world, right? The Tarzan levels. And you'd be like, alien slime, drink it all the time. Like, exactly. It doesn't leave you.
It's just stuck in your mind, yeah.
We were joking around. We have a local store that has like alien stuff, and we're like, hey, we're gonna pitch this to them. Be like, hey,
they need to start selling.
It's filled with like Mountain Dew or whatever, right, or a slushy, and we were like, it's called alien slime. Drink it all the time.
Yep.
You have that thing blast on repeat, people are gonna buy it.
Yep, agreed.
There's so many unique, weird spots and nods to all the movie characters and places within the game. Like, I can't stress enough how much life that brings. Because you'll be like, oh, I'm with the army men. They're like, oh, my fellow soldiers are trapped in the chest. You have to open it. And it's like, oh my gosh, all right, go there. Or, it'll be like you're in Tarzan's world, and then like Tarzan's mom is like saying, oh, you need to...
Tarzan's mom?
Or, well, I mean, like the gorilla mom, right?
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah. All right. You said Tarzan's mom, and I immediately thought of his deceased mom.
I don't, like, his actual parents who got killed, I don't really consider them, like, mom and dad.
Yeah, I got you.
Because, like, the silverback, and then,
parents,
like...
right, they raised him.
The apes were, like, his actual parents in the movie, right? That's really what it was. Because they raised him as one of their own.
I got you.
So, like,
Is this water sanitary?
Yeah. Like, he'll be talking to his mom. You're like, oh, man, that brings me back to the movie. Like, everything just is, it feels right. It doesn't feel like it's forced. It doesn't feel like they're stretching to get it.
I will say the one thing I felt like was a stretch in the first Tarzan level is there's a henchman, like a pirate henchman. Which that's from the end of the movie, my man, where Clayton's like, I'm taking this place by force. So it's very funny that you're just skating around, and there's like a pirate guy there, and he's like, you need to collect the letters of skate. And then you collect them all. He's like, great job. And you're like, why is this pirate congratulating me?
He's trying to steal my family.
Right.
Why don't you talk about all of the third levels, Josh?
I'd love to. All the third levels in each pack are not good. They suck.
Yeah.
Zerg's World, Scars, Canyon, and Clayton's Ship. We didn't play a ton on Clayton's Ship.
All right. So, as far as Zerg's World goes, like, we never really had a ton on Zerg.
We didn't even see half of it because you have to, like, unlock the inside, or we didn't really go inside because there's a mission where you have to, like, open a tube and then you can skate in the tube, I remember. But we mainly just did the space stuff. Scars Canyon was just kind of like, it's kind of like too vertical. There's, like, a bunch of weird layers, and if you fall down, you have to go all the way back up, and that kind of isn't great. Clayton's Ship, like I said, we didn't play a ton, but I remember it's very, like, half-pipe. Clayton's Ship is probably the best level because it's, I think, the smallest out of all of them. It's kind of more contained, which is probably better for these. Pizza Planet is fun. I mean, if we're ranking levels, Andy's bedroom is pretty much the best, probably standout star. But there's a ton of fun stuff to always explore in all the levels, which makes it fun. But
yeah, like, even I think about that. Like, Andy's level to us was the best. And I think of like Thug, where you start in New Jersey and you end in New Jersey.
Yeah.
And New Jersey, in my opinion, has some of like the best lines in the game.
Yeah.
And it's like, starter level, make it the best level, because then you can just come back to it.
Yeah. Yeah, you should probably make your first level your best level, right? Because that's the one every player is going to see.
And then, like, you know, as far as the third levels all go, like, those are all levels that, like, outside of the game, I don't think we had a lot of, like, visual or insight on until way later.
And the thing is, the other reason why they're tougher levels, and that's the point, is because they want to make the levels kind of increasing in difficulty, so that way when you're a kid, it's not just like every level super easy, nail it. You know, you want to have a sense of satisfaction of like, oh, the game's getting harder and I'm learning how to play better, right? So, alien slime, drink it all the time.
Alien slime, drink it all the time.
Let's talk about some fun facts. We mentioned this a little bit. The game is obviously built on the Pro Skater 4 engine, clearly. It's not even, if you have eyes, you can tell.
Yep.
We just have written here, alien slime, drink it all the time, which is not a fun fact. I mean, it's fun and a fact, but I don't know if that's a fun fact about the game.
Alien slime, drink it all the time.
Drink it all the time.
Alien slime, drink it all the time.
Slime, drink it all the time.
Drink it all the time.
Alien slime, drink it all the time. Let's start with playable characters. Let's alternate. I'll go first, and then you follow. You can play as Woody,
Buzz Lightyear,
Jesse,
Zurg,
Young Tarzan,
Young Jane,
Young Tantor.
Young Turk.
Tantor's the elephant. Turk is the gorilla, played by Rosie O'Donnell. Just in case you don't know who they are. Play as Young Simba,
Young Nala,
Timon and Pumbaa.
and Rafiki.
And that's all of the Disney characters. And then there's 10 of the Extreme Skate crew.
Heck yeah!
These are all real people. I'm about to read these real children's names. These people probably have, like, jobs. They're probably, like, accountants or doctors.
I mean, so they were 10 in 2002.
There were 6 to 10, yeah.
6 to 10. So let's just add it up to 10. It's 20 years later. They're 30. They probably have a family.
You think they probably have, like, a signed copy of the game or something like that at home? Or
They
something
had
like that?
something, right?
Yeah, like a t-shirt or something. All right, so you got Andrew Dolberg,
Hayden Ferris,
Lauren Felicia,
Jonathan Gallagher,
Ryan Holloran,
Miles McConnell,
Lil Romeo, who is also on the soundtrack,
Sam Rosenberg,
Rachel Testa,
Mally Ann Torres,
and Matthew Weber. And we'll talk a little bit about that, too, about how those kids got put in the video game. So I want to mention this just because I think this is probably the most blatant branding we've pretty much seen so far. Pro Skater 8 had the Nokia phone that pops up with unskippable cutscenes.
and this one we
It's
have
pretty
Nokia
egregious.
billboards.
Yep, there's Nokia billboards, but the most egregious form of advertising, probably in any Tony Hawk game so far that we've played, there's a McDonald's in Hollywood.
They got
Straight up.
Whole McDonald's?
Not only that, there's a mission with the McDonald's where you speak to Ronald McDonald himself in the drive-thru, and he gives you food items to go pass out to the other characters. The food items are modeled in-game. Like, I'm looking at a, 100 polygon McDonald's medium French fries and, like, a milk carton on screen.
And wasn't it a burger or something? No,
There was a burger.
apple pie. That's what it was.
Yeah, it was a burger, fries, milk, and an apple pie. And I'll be honest, it looked pretty good. I was like, that looks pretty yummy. But I think that'll probably I'd have to really do some searching. I'm sure there's other blatant branding. Like I said, the Nokia phone in Project 8 is pretty bad too. But this just straight up had a McDonald's in it, which is pretty rough. Alex, why don't you talk about the soundtrack?
Man, the soundtrack had some bangers in it, right? I talked a little bit about Simple Plan's Grow Up.
Went hard for a game for children, so
I was expecting a decent soundtrack. This was good.
Kinda
This
slaps.
was so good.
Kind of just slaps, you know.
Some notable ones. We talked about Little Romeo being in the soundtrack. It's kind of funny to hear because you'll be like, hey, it's Little Romeo. It's just this kid.
Yeah, it's like this kid rapping.
We got Grits, which they've done some big songs. It's a rap duo if you don't know who they are.
Basement Jaxx did Where's Your Head At, which that song is just amazing, and I recommend you go listen to that.
That is a great song, too.
Where's your head? Yeah, that one's good.
We got Jump 5, Spinning Around.
Yep, which is it's like a children's boy band, essentially. Or it wasn't a boy band, I think it was boys and girls, but it was like a children's band that sang songs. Kind of like a radio Disney classic, right? So,
Yep. And then, the granddaddy of party jams, right? Smash Mouth, Pacific Coast Party.
Yep.
Can't have a game without some Smash Mouth.
Not their best song for sure, but it's funny that
Can't have a game without some Smash Mouth.
It's funny that they made it in regardless. My pick is Real Big Fish Sell Out, which is this game started my affinity with ska. There you go.
That came on. I was like, I know the song. Yeah.
Yep.
And then
it's the one song. I think all the songs are like 2002, 2003. "Sell Out" by Real Big Fish is the one song that's like 1996 credited in the credits.
And then ending it out, we got Trust Company with "Downfall." Just great songs, really good songs.
Yeah, really good soundtrack. The issue is it's like there's like 20 songs less than that. There's like 15 songs.
It repeats.
It gets repetitive. It gets repetitive quick, but it is still pretty solid. Now let's talk about the search here. Activision, or Neversoft, or Toys for Bob, whoever, right? The company that built this and put it out. They did a casting call in March 2003 to find 10 kids aged 6 through 14 to be characters in the game. So to find these kids on this casting call, they held live events in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Diego. And like Alex had mentioned, there's footage of it. These kids are wearing like numbers on their shirts. They're grinding, doing kickflips. Literally, they have this like skate park set up to see the kids like skate.
You know, for a competition, the adults were all really chill. Everyone was like, in like the video wise, it looks like they were super supportive and everything.
Yeah, they show the adults just kind of chilling, which is cool.
I like that a lot. So like the kids don't feel super pressured.
Yeah,
it was a feel-good thing, I would say.
Don't mess up or you'll die and your career's over. It's just like, hey, we're doing a fun thing.
Yeah, everyone was having fun. It looked like
they showed like the kids were playing like demos of the game and stuff like that on like PC and stuff like that. So it seemed like a kind of chill event.
Made me feel happy inside when, things are done correctly like that.
But yeah, so the 10 kids that they selected, they make up the extreme skate crew in the game. You can find footage of that. And there's like movies and stuff you can unlock that shows all that. There was also an online voting process to decide what 2 kids would be like featured in the start of the game.
Yeah, they call them superstars.
Yeah, so the superstars are Ryan Halloran and Mally Ann Torres. So those are like, they're on the main screen when you select them. They're like, you'll pick Ryan and it'll have a drop down menu that says like, skate crew, and then you can like change between the 10 kids. But those are the 2 featured on the character select screen.
I also like that as we were researching this, we saw that like if you couldn't make it out to one of the 3 locations, you could mail them a picture of yourself, a video of you skateboarding, and like I think it was like a letter or something, and that would like enter you in so they could like watch you like on like the video, which I'm assuming 2002 home video had to be still like what, VHS? Maybe camcorder had come out around that time.
Probably VHS. Probably a VHS tape.
Like I remember my mom having
burn a DVD or something maybe.
I remember mom still having VHS like camera. It was a giant like movie basic camera.
Yeah, definitely around that time. Yeah, all of my childhood Christmas concerts were recorded on VHS tape. So
just like professional size camera, just looking around, be like, it's a home video.
Yeah, Dad would always sit in the mezzanine in the gym so he wasn't in everybody's way, so he could record. It's very fun. All the videos of me are like at a very extreme angle because he's up so high.
So I got to start off here by saying one thing foremost as well.
Alien slime, drink it all the time.
What an improvement from our previous game that we played in the series here so far.
Yeah, it's fun playing a game on an engine that doesn't suck, right?
It's fun playing a game that's legitimately fun to play and doesn't hurt my eyes. I had so much fun with this. So much fun. I can't think of like my favorite thing because guess what? The game is my favorite thing about this game. They did it so well. Like, I didn't feel cheated from this game by any means. They gave me everything I wanted. I couldn't ask for more. And I'm leaving happy.
I said Disney Tony Hawk, and they gave you exactly what you expected from it.
It was 100% no competition. If I had to pick one complaint, I would say the initial controls are just so super simplified, for kids, which, I mean, it makes sense. It's a kids game. They want kids to be able to play it. It's tough. It makes the game so much harder.
If you're used to playing normal Tony Hawk controls, this is completely different.
Like, I was thinking about relearning controls. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's awful. The nice thing, though, is that in the options menu, there is a option for pro controls. You can turn them on and off. And if you turn them on, it is just Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 controls. It makes the game so much better. There's also, like, less moves that you can do than in a regular Tony Hawk game because, like, they don't want, like, kids having to remember, like, 500 different button layouts, but like it still makes it super feasible, even with like the easy mode setting like hardcore locked in. It was still a lot of fun. But I have to say, I am so happy that this was shown to me and I got to play it for a while. I just want to keep continuing playing this game. It's so good. I love
fun.
it.
It is a very fresh, light, fun time waster.
If you're going to re-release a game with a different skin, this is the way to do it. 100%.
Yep. Branded games are no longer bad. Sometimes they can be good. And this game proves that. My favorite thing about this was the theming, was Disney theme. Skating around as Disney characters is super fun. Makes me wish we had a few more like branded games in this kind of vein, or a sequel to this game or something like that. We were talking about how you can't skate as Mickey or Donald or any of those guys.
Or Goofy.
They had their own kind of like Disney skateboarding game.
And like what a like a loss in my opinion. Max, Goofy's son, literally is a skateboarder.
Yeah, Extremely Goofy movie is literally about like skateboarding.
Yeah. I think about that all the time. Like, man, what a lost opportunity.
Yep. But yeah, skating around as the Disney characters is super fun. This was my, and so many other kids, this was their entry point into skateboarding, learning about Tony Hawk video games, learning about, most important for me, learning about ska music. That's defined who I am as a person. But yeah, my least favorite thing about this game is probably length. It's just short. There's
super short.
There's 18 goals per level, and what that really means is there's 10 goals per level, but you have to collect all the collectibles with each character on each level. So it's like, sure, there's 8 extra missions there, but you're essentially just doing the same mission 8 times, once with each character. It's kind of like you do 10 levels or 10 goals in each level, and then you're like, well, that's it. The rest is just collecting the stuff for the special moves. I will say on the upside is if we decide to go back to it, 100%ing the game is going to be super easy because it's not very hard. Just skate around, find the collectibles, and you're pretty much done. But let's talk about why we think it deserves backlog status.
It does deserve backlog status.
Yeah, oh yeah, I agree with that. Although short and intended for children, Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure is a fun romp through some classic Disney locations while retaining some Tony Hawk charm. We recommend you put Pro Controls on to make it play more like a Tony Hawk game. But you can play this and have fun. Show it to your kids so they can play it and have fun. Hell, show it to everyone so they can
show
have
it to
fun.
Grandma.
Is that Simba? I love Lion King. Play this, honestly, this is our real thoughts. Play this for a refreshing change of pace from the tougher Tony Hawk games. This is like breathing a breath of fresh air. It really does breathe some life into the Tony Hawk franchise, looking at this through a different perspective. But yeah, this was amazing. We both agree still on our current rankings, so Alex, why don't you read the people off our current ranking list for Hawktober Year 1?
Ending out Year 1, we have Tony Hawk Underground in the number 1 spot.
Oh, yeah.
Number 2 is Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. Coming in third is obviously Disney Extreme Skate Adventure.
It's fun. We just don't think it's like a better game than 3 or Thug.
We had a long conversation about it. Is it better than 3? No. Is it as good as 4? Yeah, it's as good as 4. Not better than 4, though.
Is it more, yeah, is the level design better than 4? No. It's not. You know, when it comes to stuff like this, we had a ton of fun with it, obviously. That is without a doubt. If we had to rank Tony Hawk games by fun, this would be up there like top 3. This game is freaking
100%.
This game's freaking amazing. It is just not as smooth, not as technically smooth as a lot of the other games. But it is still fun in its own right.
And then ending out our list at number 4, Tony Hawk Project 8.
Do you think next year we can play a game that's worse? I think that's even an option. You think that's even an option on the docket?
I've been thinking about that for a while now, and I'm like, oh, maybe we'll play one of the Game Boy games. That has to be worse. And I'm like,
probably better.
Not.
It's probably better, right?
It's probably better than that.
It'll be a completely different gameplay experience, but it'll probably still be better than Project 8.
Maybe Tony Hawk Ride?
Maybe
Ride?
Yeah, we could play like Ride or Shred. Yeah, the ones where you need the board.
But even then, I'm like, that still might be a halfway decent game.
Yeah. The peripheral might add something. Who knows? Yeah, that's going to be it for us tonight here. That rounds out 4th episode of Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk Year 1, done.
Hawktober, coming to an end.
Thank you for celebrating Hawktober with us. We hope you all safely drank a bunch of alcohol and skated around and had a great punk time with us.
You got to meet the Stacy Peralta.
The Stacy Peralta.
You got to hear Josh talk about Tokyo and Pro Skater 3.
Hate that stupid level, man.
We finally are recovering from our sunburns from Project 8.
Yeah, I can see now with my full vision once again. After the eye patch therapy, now I'm all back to normal.
And now we're ending out with just some amazing levels and characters that we never thought we would see skateboarding.
Yeah, bright, fresh take on a Tony Hawk game.
Great way to end the series for this year.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be it from us tonight. Alex, why don't you take us home?
Thank you for listening with us today and being here with us. We will have links down below, as always. Our email, please reach out to us. Comments, questions, concerns. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe.
Let us know what you thought about Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure. Let us know what you think about McDonald's.
Yeah, tell us if you think there needs to be more McDonald's and more skateboarding games. Tell us if McDonald's should have been a playable character.
Tell us what you think about Alien Slime, drink it all the time.
Alien Slime, drink it all the time. Tell us if you have information on Goblin Commander.
Please.
We still not giving that up.
Please.
I'm still here for it.
We're asking you. We're begging you. Goblin Commander, let us know.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night. I've been Alex.
I'm Josh.
And you take care. Alien slime,
Drink it all the time.